Welcome, brothers. Today we're going to be talking about whether it is possible to quit your porn addiction, your cigarette addiction, your addiction to weed, or your addiction to alcohol all at the same time. I'm JK Amazy, head coach at Porn Reboot and founder of Elevated Recovery. We help high-performing business owners, leaders, entrepreneurs, and professionals end the out-of-control behavior with pornography and masturbation discreetly within 90 days. Now, we have many brothers who reach out to us who have problems other than pornography, sex, and masturbation. And while your out-of-control behavior may be the most pressing thing, your out-of-control sexual behavior, there are other addictions that you may need to control. And today we're going to talk about whether or you should quit them all at once. I'm going to read out a question from a brother in a group based on this. Hey JK, I feel like I might be trying to do too much at one time, and it's making it hard to focus on my reboot. I'm trying to quit smoking cigarettes, quit smoking marijuana, and to quit pornography, all while trying to navigate my feelings about separating from my partner. His question is, how can I navigate all of this and remain successful? Am I trying to do too much at once? How do I avoid falling into the trap of, I'm not looking at pornography, so it's okay to masturbate as long as I don't use it? A porn addiction can be a devastating problem for men to overcome, and it leaves you consumed with shame and guilt for your behavior. It leaves you separated from the people around you. And when you struggle with more than one addiction, the problem becomes even more challenging. Plenty of men deal with other addictions alongside their porn problem. So what is the best way to actually approach this issue? Well, first of all, this is probably more common than you think, right? A lot of brothers feel that ending their out of control behavior creates a great opportunity to actually turn a new leaf in life. And while it's a great opportunity to make some changes, it's not really the best idea to end every single compulsive behavior that you have at once. All right. I'm not saying that it is impossible, but it does make it a lot more difficult. It's not the most realistic way to approach a successful reboot. First of all, you run the risk of overwhelming yourself by doing everything at the same time. And in my experience, men who tackle these problems one at a time rather than all at once are far more successful in the long run. I actually see this all the time. I see men who are taking on way too much. You'll see guys talking about doing this 75 hard program, about reading a book a week, about losing weight and putting on muscle. They also want to start a business at the same time while trying to manage their erectile dysfunction and end the out of control behavior with porn, sex, and masturbation. So unsurprisingly, the wheels fall off at some point because they end up in an even bigger rut than they were in before, right? So I'm all about becoming a better man, becoming a stronger man, and creating a better, happier life. That's what this is all about. But that doesn't happen by sending yourself into a tailspin by trying to juggle multiple major changes simultaneously. Instead, I believe that taking on changes one at a time and then committing them to your new lifestyle is a far more effective approach, right? So this brother also mentioned that he's trying to quit all of these behaviors while processing the feelings of a breakup, right? Now this adds another layer of complexity to the problem because first of all, he's removing every single coping mechanism that he's built up over the years. Now, these are unhealthy coping mechanism, but he's eliminating all of these, and it's only going to make it tougher for him to process this separation he's going through. There's nobody who joins the Porn Reboot system who is a master at controlling their difficult emotions. It's not something that comes easy. It takes time, it takes practice, it takes dedication. And you may think that ripping the band-aid off all at once is the best approach, but what's going to happen is less of a band-aid and more of a stitch on a very deep wound. So you're going to end up bleeding seriously. Unless your substance use is putting you in a dangerous situation, constantly opposing an immediate threat to your physical well-being, I recommend starting with your porn addiction. There's a reason why you are watching this video. There's a reason why you are a part of the Porn Reboot system. My suggestion is that you start implementing it in your life and then fully embrace this approach and this philosophy. Once you've gained control over your compulsive sexual behavior, then you can begin to focus on other struggles. And I want to make it clear, there is no one-size-fits-all approach to ending your out-of-control behavior. You must determine which approach is best for you. But taking them all on at once, I can guarantee you that it is the least effective approach. So if you don't agree with anything, that's the one thing that I'm certain of. And I've seen it time and time again. Choose one, master it, and move on to the next. Again, I know that you might be feeling that, well, JK, I want to end all these different things. I'm controlling my out of control sexual behavior. But then what do I do about the relapses that I have to marijuana, the relapses that I have to cigarettes, the relapses that I have to alcohol? What can I do? First of all, accept the fact that slips are data. There's data to be picked up from all of them. But understand that when you start focusing on the one that is having the greatest impact on your life, we're assuming it's your compulsive behavior with porn, sex, and masturbation, a lot of the positive habits and the lifestyle you're going to pick up from using the Porn Reboot system is going to bleed into the other areas of your life. So it's not as if focusing on ending your out of control sexual behavior has nothing to do with the rest. It is going to bleed over. Of course, it does mean that at some point, your behavior with something like marijuana or your behavior with alcohol is going to cause you to slip when it comes to your behavior with pornography and masturbation. But the good news, I cannot speak for any other program, but the good news is that within the Porn Reboot system, we understand this. We have a lot of men who have learned how to control their behavior in spite of smoking and in spite of drinking. So we understand that. We have systems, we have coping strategies to help you deal with that. And these systems and coping strategies are designed to simultaneously, unconsciously, so you're not doing anything consciously, but just over time, you're going to naturally develop a little bit of a distaste or an aversion towards your behavior with alcohol and marijuana. So again, it's not quitting alcohol and quitting marijuana and quitting cigarettes at the same time. It's more of, I'm developing such good habits, I'm developing such effective coping strategies, I'm feeling so much better about myself when I learn how to control my behavior with pornography and masturbation, that this whole alcohol and marijuana thing, it's starting to not make sense. That's kind of how it works. I hope you found that helpful, and I'll speak to you guys later on in the week. Whenever you're ready, here are 4 ways that Porn Reboot can help you out for free. The first way is to subscribe to our channel and make sure you click on the notification bell to get a new video every other day. The second way is to get a copy of the free book, Confessions of a Porn Addict, 7 Secrets of Porn-Free Men. You'll learn about my personal struggle and the lessons I've learned over a decade, as well as strategies for putting together your porn reboot plan and ending your compulsive behavior with pornography or masturbation. So click on the link in the description below this video. The third way is, if you're not sure where to start, but you'd like to learn more about my team and I, if you'd like to spend time with like-minded professionals, entrepreneurs, business owners, guys who work in sales, consulting, or high-level jobs, men who are controlling their behavior, then join our free and confidential group, the Porn Reboot group on Facebook. There's also a link to join in the description below this video. And finally, if you need help right now because you have a burning issue, your behavior with pornography is hurting you mentally, you're about to lose your relationship, you want to live up to your potential, you want to be an authentic man and free yourself from shame, guilt, and underachieving, click on the link in the description below this video that says free coaching call, or visit elevatedrecovery.org and click on the link which says book